Hello and welcome. This is for the Ifeanyi Life Strategies. We're up again with another topic. And let's get to business. Why smart people stay broke? That's what we're going to be dealing with right now. That's the invisible prison keeping millions stuck, stranded, and how most people don't even know they are inside. Most people think poor people are poor because they lack intelligence. But I'm here to let you understand that that is a lie. Let me prove it to you. Some of the smartest people I know are struggling financially. Some of the most educated people I know are living paycheck to paycheck. Some people have degrees, certificates, and qualifications hanging on their walls, and yet they still feel trapped. Now, think about this. If information alone is created If information alone creates wealth, every university professor will be a millionaire. And if intelligence alone creates wealth, every genius will be financially free. If hard work alone created wealth, every laborer will be rich. This God just reminded me of when I talk about hard work and labor. I've done that work before, and I can tell you how stressful that work is. I have to run away because of back pain. Wake up in the morning, you go to the site, you pack blocks, you pack cement, you pack sand, you mix everything before your boss will come. That before the merchant will come, the real builder will come. And when he comes, you just begin to work and work and work. At the end of the day, he's gonna be paid times three of what you are being paid, or times two of what you are being paid. But you are the one working harder. I was the one working harder, but was paid more. Why? Because of what I'll be sharing with you right now. You see, the question I would like to ask you is, why do smart people stay broke? Why do talented people stay stuck? Why do gifted people fail to break through? Tonight, I want to suggest something. And here is my suggestion. The problem is not a lack of intelligence. The problem is an invincible prison. And the most dangerous person is the one you don't know you are in. The problem we are having right now is most people are living in a prison that they don't even know that they are in a prison. They are living in this invincible prison, but they don't even know that, I'm in an invincible prison. So they think, oh, everything is cool. Since everything is cool, I can enjoy my life and do whatever I want to do. They don't know that they are being trapped. And I'll be explaining to you all of these things tonight. So that when others are being trapped, you that listen to me cannot be trapped. You get me? Now, listen to the first idea I want to share with you right now. Poverty is not primarily a money problem. Most people think poverty is a money problem. But most people, you have to understand that money is not always the solution. Money only amplifies who you are. Money doesn't change people. Like, for let's say you are a good person and so you get the money and you change. No, money doesn't change people. Money only reveals who you used to be, who you were in the inside. It reveals who you are. It magnifies who you are. That is what money does. So whenever you see someone who seems to look kind, seems to be obedient and calm, without money, when he got money and he now seems to change, it's not that he changed. It is that there used to be pride inside of him, but it has not revealed itself. And so when the money came, it now exposes that part of him. Money only reveals people. It only reveals you to you. It only magnifies what you carry inside. If a person lacks wisdom, more money will magnify their mistakes. That's how it works. If a person lacks discipline, more money magnifies their indiscipline. If a person lacks vision, more money magnifies their confusion. This is why some people receive opportunities and lose them. They receive promotions and waste them. They receive income and spend it. The issue was never money. The issue was thinking. Can you just type on the comment section, right? The issue is thinking. And that's why I always hear people talk about change your thinking and you will change your life. If you want to change your thinking, if you want to change your life, the first thing you need to do is change your thinking. So money doesn't really amplify people, it only reveals you to you. So if you can be able to change your thinking, you're going to change your life. And I'll be showing you how to do all of this as we go down to what I'm trying to teach you this night. And until thinking changes, circumstances rarely change permanently. They could change occasionally, bam, 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 bam. You look like this, but suddenly you come back because why? You have not upgraded the central processing unit. You have not upgraded your thinking, your mind, your heart. If you upgrade it, and that is why you look as if you are making it, you are prospering, and suddenly you come back to square one. It is not because you are a bad person, but it's because you fail to upgrade the software. You fail to upgrade your thinking. I want you to type in the comment section, my life rises to the level of my thinking. Write it down. Just type it out and write, my life rises to the level of my thinking. Let me also drop my own comments here. My life rises to the level of my thinking. Can you see that? My life rises to the level of my thinking. I want you to write that down, because that is where the real change happens. If you cannot be able to master this, if you don't understand how this works, you think you are making it, you are prospering, but suddenly you come back to square one. And I don't want that to happen to you. You have to pay attention to what I'm teaching you right now because it is a game changer. It is a game changer. I guarantee you. You will not get this somewhere else. You know, most people have walls, and the walls that most people have is different from the kind of walls we have in the prison. If you see when you go to the prison, you will find out that the prison is designed in such a way that it is always difficult for an outsider to penetrate through or an insider to penetrate out. So the walls are built with concrete. The doors are jammed with burglary. But most of the prison that people are inside right now doesn't have guards guiding it. They don't have armed security men there. Most prisons have those there, but the one you are having, the one most people are experiencing, does not have security guard, physical security guard. Most prisons are visible, but this one, the one I'm talking about, hides in plain sight. You are right in the middle of that prison, but you don't know. In fact, you are a free man. You're walking in the street, you're doing whatever you want to do. But you are in a cage, you are not even aware. The invisible prison is a prison of mental programming. And that is why you will not see yourself with any form of change. But I will still say you are a prisoner. The mental change is in your mind. The way you look at things. What you see as possible. Possibilities that you accept with. The things that you think can happen. What you believe to be true. Your perception about reality. Your perception about people. Your perception about abundance. Your perception about money, about wealth. When you think that there is only limited amount of money, it will push you to begin to take action that will make you only go for the scrap that is remaining. But when you believe in abundance, you find yourself taking action that will create abundance around you. The invisible prison is a prison of mental programming, is a collection of beliefs you accepted without examination. It is the assumptions you inherited. It is a limitation you absorb. It is the stories you keep telling yourself. The limitation you absorb based on what you see possible in your environment, in your house. When you grow up in a poor background, in a poor neighborhood, where everyone is struggling to feed himself, everyone is struggling to get what to eat. All you'll be thinking is survival. How do I get the next meal? How can I take care of my child, my family? But when you grow up in a family or in a home that are wealthy, that are rich, that are prosperous, you find yourself thinking abundant as a joke. It will not be something serious. You don't have to go and meet any coach or a therapist to help program you to think abundant. Because you'll be there listening to your dad your money, conducting businesses, conducting transactions. You hear she's sending millions, billions, and you are there listening to those numbers. In fact, you are the one helping her pick the calculator and help her punch the calculator. And all of those experiences have added up to help you become who you are. So if you grew up in a rich background with rich parents, people who who are having abundance, who think correctly, you find it easy to think big. But when you find yourself in a mundane environment, poverty-stricken environment, it will also affect you. Now, for example, here's some of the things. Here are some comparisons that people do make. Instead of saying, people do say, I can't charge that much. Maybe your coaching program is 150,000, and you are thinking, who can be able to pay that? Because you think everybody is poor as you are. And that's why you think, I can't charge that much. You wrote a very nice book. You know that anyone who go through the pages of that book, his life must change. But you are there selling it 1,000. You are afraid. Say, oh, if I sell it 10,000, who will buy? Who told you? Do you think everybody is like you? Do you think everybody is passing through financial stress the way you are passing through? Do you think that everybody hasn't figured out their finance? There are people that money is not an issue in their life. Here is another thing. People like me don't become wealthy. There's no more opportunities. The economy is too bad. And so because the economy is too bad, my business is not going to flourish. I have to wait until the economy get better. But if you will wait, you're going to wait forever. Another thing here is, I will start when everything is perfect. You're waiting for perfection. Perfection does not exist. There is no perfect timing. The best time to start is now. This is the right time to start whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, you have to start it right now. If you don't start it right now, if you don't do it right now, you will be surprised about how life is going to be with you. I will start when everything is perfect. These thoughts, the rich are lucky. The economy is too bad. People like me don't become wealthy. I can't charge much. These kind of thoughts sound so harmless, but they become bad. They become your threshold. They become your limits. And eventually, those bars become prison. You've heard about stories of how elephants are being trained in India. These elephants are being tied into a strong chain, driven to the ground when they are babies. And so they will keep on trying to get free, to go into the bush and go away to live a wild life. They keep on trying, and it is not possible because the chain that was used to tie them down was very strong. And so The Indians does that so well that they condition the elephant not to even try anymore. So the elephant tried and tried and tried and tried and got tired until he gave up. And when it has grown up to be a mighty giant colossus that can be able to uproot a tree with just the sound of a breath, he will not be able to even try to let go of his chain. Why? Because the chain has now moved from his leg to his mind. He don't even try. And most people have capacities. Because you failed in the past, you think you are a failure. Because you tried some things in the past and things doesn't work out, you think that is the end for you. But I'm here to remind you that is not the end. There is more to life. You have already grown up. You have gained experience. You have gained wisdom. You have built capacity. And so those problems that challenged you when you were a child should not be able to challenge you now. And that's why I used to tell people, don't pray to God to take away the problem. No. Ask God to empower you, to equip you, to grant you the grace to rise above the problem. Before, when I have a little wound on my hands, on my leg, it gave me so uncomfortable. But right now, I'll be having wounds on my hands, but I feel cool. I'm not even feeling it. The pain is there, but it doesn't make me miserable as when I used to be a kid. I have the pain, why? But I don't feel the pain because I have grown. My muscles, my bodies have become thick and strong. So the things that used to bother me when I was a kid no longer bother me. So let me ask you a question. Because we are about to get deeper right now. If you planted a mango seed and you harvested mangoes, will you be surprised? No, because seeds produce fruits. Then why do people expect thoughts of limitation to produce lives of abundance? Why? Garbage in, garbage out. Why do you expect an orange fruit in a place that you planted a mango seed? Why do you expect your sheep to give birth to a cow when what you have is a sheep? Every result in your life started as a thought, and every business started also as a thought. Every invention started as a thought. Every movement started as a thought. Thought becomes beliefs. Beliefs becomes decisions. Decisions becomes action. And action becomes habit. And habit becomes destiny. If you want a different destiny, you need to change or get a new and a different thought. So can you see how we're talking about changing your thinking? When you change what is going on here, it will begin to affect the actions you take. And the action you take is responsible for the kind of result that you produce in your life. We all know about it. So, what are you waiting for? Don't expect things to happen when you have not put in the work. Don't expect it to happen when you have not put in the work. When you put in the work, you should expect result. When you don't put in the work, do not expect any result. So now let's go for it. The four prison guards. The invisible prison has four guards. This invisible prison that has kept many intelligent people to be poor, to be broke, to be stopped, has four guards. And I'll be sharing to you those guards. All these guards make sure millions never escape. And I'll be showing you these guards, these things that have been stopping you from rising, this thing that has been stopping you from making the money you're supposed to be, to living the life you're supposed to live. The first the first gap is distraction. That is the number one thing that is keeping many people. Distraction is the tax poor people pay. Distraction is the tax poor thinking pays. The modern world is designed to steal attention. Notifications, trending topics, celebrity dramas, endless scrolling, arguments, outrage, entertainment. Most people are consuming far more than they are creating. You are not creating, you're only consuming. Keep on consuming entertainment, keep on consuming outrage, argument, endless scrolling, trending topics, distraction everywhere. Many people know what is going on in the life of celebrities. They know what celebrities are doing, but they don't know what their purpose is. They don't know anything about their finances. They are deep in debt, but they are there watching skits on Instagram. They are deep in debt. They don't know what their life purpose is, but they are there watching movies 4 hours. I always say that if you are not a movie director, you have no business watching movies 4 hours every day. For what reason? 2 hours is too much for watching a movie every day. How about your own field? What if you try to invest 2 hours on your field every day? What do you think is going to be made of you? Many people know what's trending, but they don't know where they are going. And they don't they and then they wonder why they aren't progressing. You only know what's going on out there. You only know what the latest news about celebrities, the latest gossip, but you don't even know where you're going. You don't have a plan for the next week. You don't have a plan for the year. You don't have a plan for the next 5 years, the next decades. You just vibing through life. You're just going through life. You cannot build a remarkable future while constantly distracted by irrelevant things. You better listen to that. Pay attention to that. You cannot build a remarkable future while constantly distracted by irrelevant things. The next thing is fear. The other guy that is stopping many from hitting millions, from getting the kind of money they desire. The gap that is making many to be poor, to be broke, is fear. Fear is expensive. Fear has cost more people fortune than failure. Failure. Fear says, "What if I fail?" But here's a better part. Faith will say, "What if I succeed?" Fear says, "What if they laugh at me?" But faith will say, "What if I inspire them?" Fear keeps people preparing, but faith moves people into action. And here's the irony: the thing you are afraid of usually isn't what destroys you, it's the delay created by fear. Years will pass, opportunities will disappear, potentials remain unused, dreams remain ideas. Fear doesn't have to stop you forever. It only has to stop you long enough. I first came across this quote by Miles Monroe. He said, "The most richest place on earth is the cemetery. In the cemetery is a place where books were not written, unwritten books are found. Unregistered companies are found, ideas are found, sermons that have not been preached are found, products that have not been created are found by these people that will allow fear to shrink them, to stop them from taking the action they're supposed to take to create the kind of life they desire for themselves." And that's why he said the cemetery is the most richest place, is the most wealthiest place on earth. It's not America, it's not China, it's not with you, it's not Russia, but the cemetery. So the question I want to place before you right now is, will you allow yourself to go to the cemetery with your dreams right inside of you? Is that what you want for yourself? Will you allow those dreams, those ideas, those business ideas, those product ideas to go down the drain without you manifesting them? Is that the kind of life you want? Let me allow you to answer that question for yourself. The next thing that is stopping many people, that is making them stay broke, that is making many smart, talented people to stay broke, is the environment. I grew up in the north, in Jos, Plateau State, to be precise. And when I was there, I lived among farmers. They basically depend on farming. These people are serious farmers. And here's something that I noticed. While I was there, I also joined them to farm. I have a small place I used to farm. And so when I'm going to the farm, I will look at someone's farm and see that everything is beautiful. The farm, the crops there are green and fat and just flourishing. You know that this is healthy. And the same on the same road when I'm going, I'll still come across another farm that you look at it, you know that this farm is struggling. And I was trying to find out what is the first time I saw something like that. I was trying to ask why is this place like this and this place like this. They begin to give me explanation. They said, you see, this one that is flourishing. The reason why it is flourishing it is because it where the seed is planted is an environment that has the nutrients that is needed. And that one that you see looking yellowish and shrinking and small, the soil lacks some major nutrients, and that is why it is like that. The environment that these seeds were planted on is not good for them. There is nothing wrong with the seed, but there is everything wrong with the environment. So it's either you upgrade your environment or you change the environment. And so these people begin to apply organic fertilizer there. They also apply other foreign fertilizer to the farm. And so they will go to people who are having poultry farm, they will buy the poultry dung and put it on the farm. And you begin to see that the farm is getting better and better. So they are upgrading the environment. If they could not be able to upgrade that environment, they leave that farm there and move to another space. And sometimes they invite the herdsmen to come and lodge on the farm. So this herdsman will stay on that farm and stay there for the season, for the dry season, and the dunks of the cows will be there. And when they go, they'll not use it for the farm. When you come back the next time, you just see the tree, the plants over there growing and looking so beautiful. A seed can be perfect, but when it is found in the wrong soil, you will think there is something wrong with the seed, but there's nothing. Potential is not enough. Environment matters so much. Your environment matters so much. Show me your conversations. Show me your influences. Show me your daily inputs. Show me your cycle, and I will show you your future. I just need to be around you to talk with you for a couple of hours, and I will know how your future is going to be. Some people are trying to grow in environment that constantly shrink them. They are trying to build confidence around negativity. They are trying to build wealth around scarcity thinking. They are trying to build vision around cynicism. You cannot constantly outperform your dominant environment. At some point, you must change the environment or be changed by it. They used to say, if you cannot beat them, you will surely join them. If you cannot beat them, you get out of that environment because if you don't get out, you will join them. So the thing that is stopping many people from hitting that jackpot is the environment. You're living with small thinking men, small thinking women, negative thinking ladies. All around you is mediocrity. Nobody is thinking of vision. Nobody is thinking of building a company. There are environments that when you stay in, you cannot be able to build a company because of the negative thoughts and thinking that is going on around them. So change your environment. That is the top thing you need to pay attention to. And the next thing that is stopping many people from becoming wealthy, that is causing many smart people to stay broke is the consumer mentality, the consumer thinking. This is the biggest one. Most people have trained Most people have trained themselves, they have been trained to consume contents, to consume entertainment, to consume products, to consume opinions, to consume information. But wealth belongs to creators. Get me? If all you do is to consume, you cannot build wealth. If you want to build wealth, you have to move from the consumer side to the creator side. What am I doing right now? I am creating something. This video has never existed in the past, but right now I am creating it. So wealth belongs to creators. Creators solve problems. What am I doing right now? I'm solving problems. I'm showing you the reason why you are smart, but you are still broke. I'm solving a problem. Creators create value. And what? Giving you value. Creators build assets. But at the end of this video, I'm going to download this video and keep it for myself. It's my asset. Creators build systems. I have system around this on how to monetize what I'm teaching you right now. By the end of this class, I'll invite you to sign up for my coaching program, to train you, and you pay me for that. Creators create opportunities. We create opportunities for people. Consumers ask, what can I get? Creators, on the other hand, ask, what can I give? They can even go, they wait for that. What do I have that I can give? And the marketplace reward value. That is what the marketplace reward. What do you bring to the table of greatness? The greater the value you bring to the table of greatness, the greater the reward you'll be rewarded. The greater the greater the problem you solve, the greater the compensation you receive. Now let's talk about the law of value. Here's something that changed my life. Money is attracted to value, not needs. You don't have money because you need it. You have money because you are exchanging it with some value. Need does not create value. Need does not create wealth. Value creates wealth. The marketplace does not ask, how badly do you need money? The marketplace asks, what problem can you solve? The bigger the problem, the greater the value. The greater the value, the greater the income. That is how the maths work. But many people are trying to increase income without increasing the value they bring to the table. That's like trying to harvest more without planting more. You plant on 1 hectare of land and you are expecting a harvest of 10 hectares. That is not how it works. The seed you sow, that is what you plant. So these are the things that have been stopping many people from hitting it. That has kept many intelligent, smart people stranded and broke. This has it. So now someone might be asking, okay, I have learned about this. So can you please talk about the things I need to do to escape this dilemma, this invincible prison? There are 3 things. The step number 1 you need to do is to upgrade your thinking. Start asking questions. Start questioning beliefs. Questions like, who told you that? Is it true? What evidence supports it? What evidence contradicts that? That's the question you should be asking. Many limitations survive because nobody challenges them. Just day before yesterday, we have a little challenge with our water pipe, and so we invited this plumber to come and check and see what's going on. So while we were there with him going through and seeing, and my boss came across, he saw a kind of work that was done into the conduit pipe. And he was like, why is this thing done like this? He don't just look at it and say, oh, look at this. No, he asks, must this thing be like this? He's questioning beliefs. He's asking so that he get answers, new perspective to what maybe he might not know about. And so he asked, and the plumber gave him an explanation. Oh, the reason why we have to bend this like this to this is like we're trying to run away from this casting that is here. That's why we have to shift the pipe like this and bring it up and down like that. And that he gave him an explanation and he understood. So when next you come across something, try to find out why is it like this? Why do we have to do it that way? Must we do it this way? Is there no other better way to do this thing? You ask those kind of questions. Guard your attention. That's the next thing you need to do. Attention is most valuable asset right now. Your attention is your most valuable asset. You have to protect it. Your future is hidden inside what you consistently focus on. Focus determines direction, and direction determines destination. And the third thing you need to do is become a value creator. If you want to escape this rat race, if you want to become a person, an intelligent person that always have money, that is never broke, then you have to become a creator. Stop asking, how can I make money? And start asking, what problem can I solve? The second question is far more powerful. Not about how can I make money. There are illegal ways to make money. But when you focus about what problem can I solve, you always find it difficult to go wrong. Because money follows solution. It has always been like that and it will always be like that. So always ask yourself, what problem can I solve? Not how can I get money? No, what problem can I solve? What problem do I see in my neighborhood that I can solve? Look around you. That woman selling those foodstuffs in your neighborhood, she's solving a problem. For you to go to take a bike and go into the town and buy those foodstuffs, you now go to a shop. Now she's not what? Solving a problem of waste of time, resources. All you need to do, you don't need to spend hours to go into the town and get what you want to. You just branch and get what you want to buy. That man selling meat, that woman with the grocery store, that lady selling fruits. They are solving problems. So look around you, look into your environment. What problem can I solve? What problem are these people having that I can be able to solve? That is a question you should be focused on. And he who asks and continue to ask will not avoid their answers. Now I want you to imagine two people. Both people are intelligent. Both have internet access. Both have opportunities. 5 years later, one is thriving, the other is still stuck. Why? The difference is not intelligent. The difference is what they did with their intelligence. One used it to build, the other used it to justify. One created value, the other consumed value. One escaped the prison, the other decorated the cell. Who are you among these two people? And leave you that question again. And tonight, I want you to ask yourself one question. What is the invisible prison that has been keeping me stuck? Is it fear? Is it distraction? Is it limiting belief? Is it my environment? Is it consumer thinking? You know your answer. Just be sincere with yourself. You don't need to tell me the answer unless you want me to coach. Just be sincere. Is it consumer thinking? You never produce. Is that what is stopping you? Because awareness is the beginning of freedom. You cannot escape a prison you refuse to acknowledge. But once you see it, you can break it. Once you identify the gap, you can bypass it. You need to know your predicament very well. Because if you're having a stomach pain and you go on drinking Panadol, which is made for headache, it will not work. You still keep on having pain. Despite the fact that it is also designed as a medicine. So medicine have different functions they perform. So get clear about your own challenge. Is it fear? Is it consumer thinking? Get clear about it. and you can be able to bypass it. Because once you understand the system, you can leave it behind. And here's what I want you to remember: you are not trapped by your circumstances, you are not trapped by your past, you are not trapped by your current result. You are only trapped by the prison you refuse to leave. And the key has been in your hands all along. If tonight made a if tonight you made a decision that you will no longer live inside the invincible prison, if you are ready to become a creator instead of merely a consumer, if you are ready to unlock the potential that has been waiting inside you, I want you to type free, I am free in the comments and share this broadcast with someone who is smart, gifted, talented, and capable of more, but may still be trapped inside the invincible prison. Because freedom begins the moment you see the bars. If you can't see the bars, your freedom is still far away. So with this, we come to the end of today's live webinar, and I want to really appreciate you for being with me right from the beginning and up to this time. Remember, my name is Paul Ifeanyi. I'm a life strategist. I'm always on a journey to help you become a better version of yourself in a very short period of time, almost immediately. See you next time. I can see someone watching. I really appreciate you for watching. Can you drop a comment? Thank you so much. Love you so much. See you next time. Stay out of trouble, remember, because life is easy. It doesn't have to be hard. Well, thank you for watching.